How's everybody doing? So today I'm going to do a quick video on calling on job sites. So obviously if you're watching these videos, you're probably either in the construction industry or you're selling to the construction industry or you're in the equipment industry. So if you're calling on job sites are the single best source for leads. It's who has the business, it's where the business is, and it's kind of the pulse of what's being built and what the future shows. You can tell just about anything of the health of a job site on how much business there's going to be coming down. So here's some interesting stats about job sites. Each job site is a little bit different, but the national average is approximately 3% of the total budget for a job site is allocated for rentals and equipment needs. That means the crane, that means the porta pots, that means the roll-off trash dumpsters, that means the job trailers, as well as boom lifts, scissor lifts, forklifts, skid steers, backhoes, and everything else that would be used on the job site. So equipment and rentals only equal up to about 3%, okay? So the second part of this video, I'm gonna show you how to successfully call on a job site, but it's important to know about the job site. And here's why. When you go call on a job site, realize I hate watching sales reps go call on a job site and they show up and they vomit on the general contractor. And here's what that looks like. Hi, my name's Elliot. I just want to let you know that I work for Big Giant Rental Company and we're one of the best ones and I'm going to give you really good service and I'm going to make sure that I show up here and all of our equipment will be delivered on time. And I just want to let you know that I'll stop by every Monday and I'll drop off donuts and I'll make sure that... Oh, sorry. I got caught up in the vomit. That is not what general contractors want. Trust me, you're not the first, second, third, or 15th person to come walking into his trailer and do the vomit. They're kind of done with it. It's not new anymore. It's not fun anymore. And they don't want to see it. The reason why they don't want to see it, they don't have time. Okay? So here's how you successfully call on a job site. Number one, don't show up on a job site unless you've got on your PP&E. Safety is number one, above all else. Forget about your sales call, forget about everything else. You are a distraction on the job site. So no matter what, when you show up, make sure you have your hard hat, your glasses, your safety vest. Make sure you stop at the entry where they have all of the required PP&E, maybe steel-toed shoes. Make sure you have all your PP&E before you ever jump out of your truck. Number two, if you're going to show up looking like a sales rep, white hat, generic glasses, brand new crisp vest, white press shirt, don't be surprised if people treat you like a sales rep. Before you roll onto the job site, take a look around. Look around at what's going on. It blows my mind how many sales reps roll up to a job site. They don't pay attention that there's 30 cars parked at the GC's trailer. They might be having a meeting. Next up, they don't look around. There's concrete trucks parked all the way around the block waiting to get onto the site. That is not the day or the time to show up. They're in the middle of a pour. When the job site's in the middle of a pour, the last thing they want is someone to show up and say, hey, I need 10 minutes of your time. Concrete pours are a little more important than that, and most of the time they don't need distractions during concrete pour days. So be cognizant of what's going on the job site, weather, traffic flows, if they're in the middle of a pour, all of the things that could affect whether or not it's an effective time for you to show up or you're already being a bigger distraction than what you are. Whenever you roll up to a job site, after you've checked the situation and made sure you have your PP&E, make sure you swing into the general contractor's trailer. Introduce yourself. It's his or her job to make sure that they know what's going on that site. And you showing up and just wandering around their job site, even if you have a reason to be there, such as you're checking on a piece of equipment or getting somebody keys, check in with their job trailer so that if there is a safety incident, or if somebody says who's driving their truck across your site, the general contractor knows what's going on. It's their job. Help them do their job. Don't just be a distraction. The main reason why we call on job sites. As I stated in the beginning, find out what's being built, what's going on, who's on the job site, and what their needs are, and how you as a sales rep can best meet those needs. I know this is going to come as a shock to many sales reps out there, but believe it or not, the general contractor probably has a pretty good idea of what is going on and what they need. It's rare that sales reps show up on the job site and say, oh my gosh, I've got a revolutionary idea. It's called a forklift. They've figured it out. Okay. So the best thing you can do when you show up is you want to make sure that you have a good value added proposition, and you want to make sure that you bring something to the job site. When I walk into a job site, the first thing I always say to the general contractor is look, obviously I'm a salesperson. I realize that you're on a tight time schedule. They've got you locked down and you have to have this building built before a certain date. I don't want to be a distraction, and I don't want your job to be slowed down by me repeatedly coming in here. Now, that's called bringing the negative to light. And the general contractor knows everything you've said. So guess what? You start off on the same side because they agree you shouldn't be there and you are slowing them down. So they're respectfully, most of them say, all right, you got 1 minute, figure out what you can do. And I always say, listen, your job is to make sure that your job runs efficient. Right now, there's been a lot of disruption in people finding some of the resources they need, be it porta pots, trash cans, mobile minis, forklifts, skid steers, boom lifts, whatever they're trying to find. I find that oftentimes they need more than one resource. So to help you out and to make sure your job's running right, is there any way I could ask you for a subcontractors list, only so that I'm not bugging the people on your site? I'm actually going to go call on their office to add resources to make sure that you don't show up one day and you're saying, why isn't the work getting done? And the person says, well, we couldn't find a forklift. Well, we couldn't dig it because we couldn't find a skid steer. Well, our boom lift broke down and we couldn't find anyone who had a 65-foot articulated boom. All of those things slow their site down. Bring resources and make sure they know how they can get their job site back on track. I hope that quick introduction helped you out. I'll do another video on the future on how to be the best resource possible for a job site. Let me know below what you think in the comments on whether or not this was valuable, if you agree or disagree, and most importantly, thanks for watching and make sure to share. Have an amazing day.